Have you guys ever wondered what should be added to the game that isn't already added? I think like every single one of you have, and that's what we're going to be discussing. What I personally want to be added to the game. First off, one of the first things that comes to my mind is how little Kaganes there are. We have 12. Although I would talk about Quinkes, but I'm not as familiar with them, so I won't. But Kaganes, there are only 12, and 4 of them are starters. The only starter that's actually, or like that has a pretty good amount of effort in it, is Kaneki, which has the most stages out of any Kagane in the game. Out of every Kaneki, yes. So, I feel like that's somewhat of a good effort, but enough about effort. We need more, is what I'm saying. And I feel like not just more Kaganes. I feel like a cool idea would be custom Kaganes, like mixing different Kaganes with each other and stuff like that. Although that'd be very difficult to add into the game. How much work that would take to make every combination's animation and attacks. That would take way too much work. Which, I wish I knew how to do that stuff so I could comment on it better. I also wish I knew how to do that stuff because I'd love to make my own game with that. Which I kinda am doing. My game that I'm making, I feel like it's going to be similar to ro-ghoul, but of course, I guess adding more of the stuff that I feel like ro-ghoul needs, except it's about ReZero, not Tokyo Ghoul. But I feel like it's going to be a similar PvP style game. But enough about my game, this is about ro-ghoul. Now, I also feel like making the Kaganes more random, like in Tokyo Ghoul, like, they're not just set stages, we should have more random stuff, like, I had a thought where, like, what if, so you got, like, 1 through 9 to, or for the Kaganes, like, you know, I got, like, stage 1, and then stage 2, you know, all that crap. What if it was a certain combination for, like, say if you press, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would do a specific one. I feel like that would make it more random. Although having to make, that many combinations. Okay, maybe not 1 through 9, but maybe, like, 4. Wait, let's get my calculator real quick. Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't know how to do the math for this. But, it would be literally hundreds of different combinations, even just for 4. So maybe just through 3. Let me see if I can do 3. Yeah, I still don't know how to do the math, but it would still be a lot. So, maybe making it completely random or something like that would not be a good idea because of how much work that would take. So enough with Kaganes, let's move on to events. So with the King of the Hill, that everyone was thinking it would be something more like fighting Arima or a new sort of boss, which would be an actual event instead of the bosses we have, which aren't really bosses, they're kind of just strong NPCs that are called bosses. There's no actual boss fight to it. But that's kind of what everyone thought this was, but it was a lot simpler than that. But I wish it would have been something like that. That's something we really need in this game. And then one thing that I also want that's related to events is like a dragon boss fight. Or I don't know if it would be considered a boss fight, but you'd have to like destroy all the segments across the map and then maybe the core or whatever, or something like that. I don't really have the details for that, but I feel like that would be a very cool event that honestly I don't feel like would be too incredibly hard to make. It'd be much easier than trying to make random Kaganes and crap. But I don't know, I feel like starting off we need something like fighting Arima or something. Or what if we had, like, a war between CCG and Ghoul or something? That would sometimes happen, like, a bunch of Ghoul NPCs and CCG NPCs would start fighting, and then you join whatever side you are. Or something like that. I was imagining a bunch of, just a bunch of the NPCs we have just going in, and I'd just jump in, boop, they're all dead. Just imagining it like that, that'd be very funny. Although that's probably not what it would be like, because anyone who's above level, like, 500 would just delete that. So, I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but again, I'm not the one to make the details. I'm just showing off my ideas, or telling you guys my ideas and all that. Well, thinking about events, I feel like we need more of a PvP system than what we currently have. This is a bit more vague. I'm not really sure about how we would do this, but I feel like we should have better PvP than the arena, which balances stats, which already is a really good feature. But I feel like we should have more than just we exist in this world and kill each other. We need to have more PvP events, not just NPC events or fighting NPCs. But anything new related to events would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. But I think we've had enough of enough events. Or enough talking. I don't know how to talk anymore. Someone slapped me in the eye. Okay, so next bit. I feel like we need a bigger map, you know? Our map is pretty small and not very detailed. Which, I don't mind it being not detailed. I love this map. I just feel like it needs to be at the very least bigger. Because it's somewhat small. Well, I wouldn't say it's a small map. You know, all those garbage simulator maps that are tiny as crap? You know, that stuff? It's like... Oh my gosh, I have such little health. It's kind of like that, but not small and bad. It's a good map, but at the speed we go, like, look at this. I just fly so far. Like, we could just go so fast across the map. Whereas in a simulator, you don't even need that big of a map. This would be a very big map if it were a game not about really high movement things. But with the really high movement things, we need a bigger map. That's what I'm thinking. Although I can see how that would be annoying for newer players. Unless there'd be more NPC spawns or something, I feel like more NPC spawns would be awesome. Because imagine, like, you know, the spot over here, it's got 3 spawns. You can go over there and grind these. That's an efficient strategy. Imagine that, but with, like, 10 nearby. With a bigger map, that would be so possible. Or so easily possible. But with a bigger map, people who are grinding bosses might have to go further across the map to find the bosses. But if there'd be a bigger map, maybe there'd be more bosses. Maybe there would just be a non-stop grind of bosses, which would actually be very fun. And back to bosses, we need, like, an actual boss fight. Not just a really powerful NPC that's called a boss. Did I already mention it like that? I probably did. I don't remember. But we need, like, something with a boss bar that maybe we have to work as a team against, or work against each other with. Just something like that would make it an actual boss fight, which I think would make it way more fun to grind. Cause I wouldn't really call any of these boss fights, like Amon and Nishiki, I don't really feel like they would be boss fights on their own, but Edo could totally be a boss fight. Like with a boss bar and everything, all that. Maybe she'll go to crab form whenever she gets low, something like that. That would be very cool. Although she would have to be a lot stronger if she was an actual boss. I mean, she's strong on her own anyway. Maybe we could have, like, you spend yen to do a boss fight, or, like, to enter a boss fight. And then if you die, you don't get to go back in. I don't know how to talk. Like I've said. Man, I hate not being able to talk properly. I mean, I can talk just fine. I just stutter constantly, which I hate. I want to not stutter constantly, like I just did, because I fell down the butt crack of these buildings. So I'm not sure I have anything else to add to this. I feel like I've said most of the main stuff. There's probably little details I could say, but I don't really have time for all that. I don't have time to go in depth on all these little things. But, Sushi, if you're watching this somehow, please let me help make the map bigger. That would be awesome. I'm more or less joking, but I'd love to help in general. Also, if you guys do enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe. It's completely free. And I believe that's it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.